It all started with a letter taped to my front door, stamped with the HOAS logo in bold red ink. According to them, my simple wooden mailbox did not meet community standards. The fine wasn't much, but the principle cut deep. I had lived peacefully in the neighborhood for years, yet suddenly they targeted me for something as trivial as a mailbox. Instead of paying quietly, I felt a spark of rebellion. If they wanted a standard mailbox, they were going to get something unforgettable. And with that, an outrageous idea began to form. I spent hours sketching designs, each one more elaborate than the last. My neighbors peeked curiously as truckloads of stone and cement began arriving at my driveway. Whispers spread fast, and the HOA board members circled like hawks, trying to figure out what I was up to. But I said nothing. Slowly, the foundation took shape. Brick by brick, I began building a massive structure where my small wooden mailbox once stood. It wasn't just a replacement, it was a statement. And as the first stones stacked higher, the HOA's patience grew thinner. Within weeks, the tower rose above the shrubs and fences, impossible to ignore. Children riding their bikes stopped to stare. Cars slowed down as drivers craned their necks. My mailbox had become the centerpiece of the entire street, a looming stone monument where a simple post once stood. The HOA sent more letters, each angrier than the last, demanding I stop construction. But I pressed on. By now, my little project had turned into a castle-like tower, complete with turrets and carved details. What started as petty revenge was quickly spiraling into a neighborhood spectacle. Soon, someone posted a picture of my mailbox tower on social media, and within hours, it went viral. Headlines called it the Mailbox Castle, and videos of people visiting spread like wildfire. Tourists drove in just to snap selfies beside it. My street transformed into an attraction, with cars parked bumper to bumper. The HOA panicked. Their rules had never been tested like this, and now the world was watching. Instead of a minor violation, their standard mailbox demand had become a national joke. My defiance wasn't just personal anymore, it was public, and I knew they hated it. The HOA escalated quickly. They threatened lawsuits, daily fines, even removal of the structure by force. But every move they made only fueled more online outrage. People rallied behind me, sending messages of support and even donations to cover legal fees. News crews set up across the street, broadcasting live as HOA board members tried and failed to control the chaos. What had once been their quiet suburban playground had now become the stage for a viral rebellion, and at the center of it all stood me, and my castle mailbox, towering defiantly above their paperwork. Neighbors who once stayed silent began speaking out, emboldened by my stand. They shared their own stories of petty HOA fines and power trips. Together, we formed an informal alliance, calling ourselves the Castle Crew. We printed shirts, organized community events, and made the HOA look powerless at every turn. The board tried to host emergency meetings, but attendance dwindled as more homeowners sided with me. Each day, the castle mailbox seemed less like an eyesore and more like a symbol of freedom. The HOA's grip was slipping fast, and they knew it. By now, the HOA's desperation was almost comical. They hired lawyers, filed injunctions, and even tried to pass new bylaws overnight. But every attempt collapsed under the weight of public scrutiny. Journalists dug into their history, exposing shady financial practices and favoritism. The board members, once feared, became the villains in a viral saga no one could stop watching. And through it all, the castle mailbox stood proudly, untouched, unbothered, and adored by thousands online. I hadn't just built a mailbox. I had built a movement. And the HOA had built their own downfall. In the end, the HOA caved. They withdrew the fines, canceled the lawsuits, and issued a quiet statement admitting miscommunication. But it was too late. Their credibility was shattered, and their authority reduced to rubble. The castle mailbox, once a target of punishment, was now a permanent landmark. Tourists still came, kids still marveled, and my neighbors still wore their Castle Crew shirts with pride. What began as petty revenge had become a legend, all because they wanted to find me for a mailbox. Instead, I built a castle and one.